All right, we live. We're back. Bit later than usual, but it is what it is. We're here to discuss this week's game of football. Certain teams are acting like they won the Premier League already, but we'll go into that. Obviously, it's your boy Luke. We drew our game. We'll go into my thoughts and my feelings about it. I don't have an intro, but yeah, Margie, what you telling me?
Um, I'm good. Abdelini is feeling good. Won 3 games in a row. Big win away at Burnley. We'll talk about that. But yeah, just a couple things just to highlight. If you got time, go to Norwich's Twitter and look at their video on mental health. I think a lot of people need that right now. Obviously, it's World Mental Health Day, so that's a big thing, and it was a beautiful video. So I recommend that. And secondly, a legend has decided to end his time in the game. Eden Hazard, a beautiful player, deadly on the wing, a hazard to defenses, spun Coquelin like a like a Beyblade, and provided me with many great moments. And yeah, he's also spun past Declan Rice too, so he's done that to your favorite DM as well. So yeah, man, respect the legend. Obviously, his last game was the Europa League final. That was his testimonial. We haven't seen him since then, but he's decided to finally retire and put down the boots and respect to him. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, because I've always been a fan of Eden Hazard, to be honest. I don't like the notion of people comparing him to Mohamed Salah. It's a disrespect to Salah, but that's just my opinion. But like I've always liked Eden Hazard. I've always liked his ability on the ball. He's probably pound for pound, along with Sadio Mane, when it comes to 1v1, he was a specialist. And especially through the middle of the park, you put him in that cam position, is game over. He had one thought only, which was spin a man and go on a Miranda run with the ball, and you saw it. Two examples, which Margie already said was the Coquelin one, which till this day, till this day, is still a meme. Yeah, but yeah, man. At the end of the day, he made the wrong move. He should have really went to Real Madrid a few years, maybe 5 years before that, or a few years before his actual move. He went when his motivation was probably not even there, and he was off form. And obviously, it is what it is. These things happen. He picked the wrong career move, but at least he can say that he won a few trophies to his name. So yeah, to Eden Hazard, and hope you enjoy your beers, because I know that's one thing that you definitely said that you was gonna do, is let loose and just drink. So yeah, man. But let's move on. We already mentioned a former player in Arsenal, in Francis Coquelin. Obviously, I already said already, there's teams that are acting like they won the league, and that's Tottenham and that's Arsenal. And coincidentally, it's the two North London clubs that are the top two at the moment. Do they deserve to be there? It is what it is, but they're capitalizing at the moment. That game against Man City, um, City just weren't at the paces. You can clearly see that they miss two individuals. You can clearly see that they miss Kevin De Bruyne. They just don't have that creativity. And I think right now, whilst Man City is going through their rocky patch, if teams can capitalize on this, then everyone pretty much has a chance of winning that league. I think right now City are really struggling. And I think the loss of Rodri as well hasn't helped them. Um, Again, not to discredit Arsenal, because Arsenal did play well. They did come out and play. They did attack them well. And it was a perfect game plan. They kept Haaland very, very quiet. Yet again, Haaland was ineffective in a game. And it just goes to show you that if there is no Kevin De Bruyne to pick out a pass, a worldie, then you're essentially gonna have Hazard quiet throughout the whole game. And to be honest, Hazard never really has been the type of individual to be a threat. through a consistent 90-minute game. He's always that guy, like a Jermaine Defoe, one chance, bang, it's in. Like a Alan Shearer, one chance, bang, it's in. He's always been a predator in a box. But if you do not have guys to distribute the ball across the midfield to get the ball into the box, and like utilize those wingers, then Haaland, it's mad. Like it's mad that he's been quiet for these two games. It's mad that Doku didn't do anything that game as well. It was really, really an unlike Man City performance. And I think it was one of those the student finally mastered and beat the teacher. Um I don't like the idea of Arsenal fans getting themselves excited and thinking, oh yeah, now we're gonna win the league. Yeah, we're on top, North London's red, blah 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 blah. Because at the end of the day, just like it's in the history of Tottenham to bottle, it's in the history of Arsenal to bottle as well. We're still got games to go. We're only in October. Arsenal haven't really played anyone massively significant apart from City. So I think for me, they just need to slow down, don't get carried away, and just wait until you meet the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Liverpool, and then we will see where you're at. But I just think for now, you played against a team who didn't have their main CDM, that didn't have their creative maestro, and you won. Fair dues. Fair enough. But just relax. Tranquilo. All right, relax. Margie, what's your thoughts on your rivals doing all the big talking up there in top of the league? I know you must be getting vexed hearing their Wassa chat, fam.
No, to be honest, I'm all right. The thing with I put it in the thing. Arsenal broke the hoodoo. The thing is, when you've been dominated by a team so much for a period of time, it doesn't matter how you won the game. You just needed to win it. And reality is, the thing is, there's no excuses for either of these big teams when it comes to players missing. They had both had players missing. I just think Pep got it wrong in the terms of he played for the draw when he should have played for the win. And that's the thing that's frustrated with me with Poch, is that you're going for draws when you're an elite club. You need to stop this small club mentality and go for the win. And I think the fact that Doku and Grealish didn't start the game, Foden was non-existent. And the thing is, I feel like Doku should have started because he's exactly what City need. He can get the ball and he can just run at that defense because that defense on the wings isn't that great. The left back, right back, I don't trust him on one-on-one situations. Zinchenko gets spun every other week, and Ben White is here or there. So for me, you're not going to get anything down the middle unless you penetrate the wings in terms of Arsenal. And I think City didn't do that enough. They played too many players that were central styled, and it was easy for Saliba and Gabriel to eat that up because there's nothing going down. What you need to do is go down the width and whipping these low crosses cause problems to the fullback area of Arsenal. And I think, yeah, I think just Pep got it wrong. But at the same time, when you look at the table, they're only 2 points behind those two clubs up top. And reality is this with Tottenham and Arsenal, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you can have the early lead, but we need to see you in the lead in April, in March, April, the time. Because those times there are when you see Tottenham and Arsenal crumble, especially Arsenal. They've been famed for it. How many times they've been top of the table by Christmas? A couple months later, they're nowhere to be seen, trying to scrap it out for fourth, fifth. And the thing is, every team can be every team in this league except for the bottom three. The bottom three, four teams are absolutely terrible. They're light work, easy lunch. But the rest of the league is getting better and better. You're not going to be able to get the easy results against your Brightons, your Villas, your Newcastles. You're going to have to work hard. So beating Man City for them was more important than the thing is, Man City could afford to lose this game and still win the title at the end of the season. Arsenal needed to do this to make sure in themselves that they have the confidence in themselves to know that they can beat City. Because in order to beat a City to a title, you've got to take points off them. And they've done that in the first game. Congratulations. You've done your job. But now you've got to put in the hard miles, do it for the rest of the seasons, winning week in, week out, not making one slip. You can't draws are losses in this title race when it comes to Man City. And you got another big bad that's coming around the corner in Liverpool. And if they make the right moves in January, they could be there too. Um, for me, Tottenham will always go down. I feel like Tottenham were very lucky. They struggled against Luton side, and I will just make a quick point on Basuma. Why are you diving with a yellow card? It's foolish. It's absolutely foolish, and you're gonna miss the next game, and you're a pivotal point of their midfield. So Hoiberg next game, it might be a problem for Spurs, and they were very lucky to come out with a result of that game. But I don't really talk
It's
too
true.
much about Spurs because I don't really see it. I think Andrew's doing a great job for the club, but yeah, man, they the aim for Spurs is top four, is to get back into Europe, is to actually get in there. The same with Chelsea, but for Arsenal, time for talking is over. You need to win something this season, and that's this kind of the result shows that you're up there and you're have the availability and ability to win. You just got to do it. I really couldn't care what the fans say. As far as I'm concerned, if Arsenal don't end this season without a Premier League or Champions League, it's going to be a problem, and we're going to have to talk about Arteta and what his future is for the club. Because in the end of the day, it's 4 years, eighth, fifth, second. This is the season where you need to do something. You need to get some silverware. Your first FA Cup was off Emery's back. That was Emery's team. This is your team now, and great result. Obviously, it's very lucky in the terms of it hits off Ake's face, but you know those are the bits of luck you need when you're going for the title. And yeah, I just think it was a very poor game in general. When I looked at the game at halftime, I was thinking, and I was speaking to people, and I was like, this is either going to get a 0-0 or 1-0 one either way, and it went Arsenal's way in the end. And I think this is the confidence boost that they needed. Are they going to go on and do big things? We'll know soon enough because their next game is Chelsea away, and that's a team that they've been comfortable at beating in recent history. They've been on us home and away and stuff like that. So they need to carry on. They can't afford to drop points. They can't even afford a draw in their next games. And after the international break, we're going to see what Arsenal are made of and if they can continue that the form they're showing. The same with Spurs. But yeah, silly mistakes, losing players here or there, it's just going to pile up eventually. So for both North London clubs, I think it's just a thing of let the football do the talking because your fans talk enough anyway. Tottenham fans talk like they won something in the last 20 years. One League Cup. You can't talk to no one. You can't even talk to Leicester. And Arsenal fans, 20 years without a Premier League title. It's about time you get one. It's about time you that North London parade either side of North London. There needs to be a parade at some point. A parade inside my city, yeah. And not in West London. It has to be in North London at some point. So that's the gauntlet for Arsenal if they're gonna do something. Do I think they're gonna do anything this season? No. Struggling against Lens in the Champions League and then a fluky win at home to City. Is that gonna convince me of anything? It just convinces me that City don't look the same as they used to. But let's be honest, this is early City. The fact that they're on 18 points already at this point, that's a good start of the season for them. So
It's true.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. They're doing it without De Bruyne, without Rodri. 18 points already for them as well. So it's a long season. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there's nothing negative I could say. No banter here. Just do your job, Arsenal, win something. Because at the end of the season, if you don't, we will be there. And yeah, you may have to delete Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Reddit, all of that. Because if you don't win anything this season, it's going to be long for you Arteta sexuals. Just know that. You know it's true. Real talk. I'm tired of it. That man praise him like he's one side, like he's a big Don Dalla or something. Like, come on,
Arteta sexuals. Um,
yeah, man. I need silverware. I need an FA Cup or something. Give me something.
oh man, I'm dying, bro. That is funny. All right, let's move on, man. We'll move on to my team minute. Obviously, my team drew away from home. Many people can look at that and be like, you know what? Liverpool had to face Chelsea. They had to face Tottenham. They had to face Brighton. It's been a hard run of fixtures, and we're in the top four. So people can look at that and be like, you know what, Liverpool was dealt a hard hand, but they rid it out to get decent points. And now the next five fixtures before we face Arsenal is going to be an easier run. Nah, I'm not that people. We should be taking maximum points in every single game that we play. The game that we played against Brighton, we played into their hands. We did. Brighton should have scored numerous of chances in the first half. Why that happened? Why we allow that to happen is because we're still playing a number six that's uncomfortable in playing a number six. What's the point in buying Endo? What's the point in having Ryan Gravenberch, who's balling out in the Europa League and showing his quality and can play a six? He's tall enough, he's strong enough, he's mobile to play there. But you'd rather play McAllister, who's slow, who can't even move on a half turn, who's losing possession constantly when in the six. That game, he lost possession how many times? The first goal that Brighton scored was because of him losing possession. What is Klopp seeing in training that he believes that McAllister is the right fit for the six until January? Why did you buy Endo? I don't get it. I physically don't understand why he's playing him. The reason why we lost that game was because of that six position. If we had someone in that six who's neat and tidy with the ball, that can recycle possession and distribute when necessary and protect that back four, then there wouldn't be no pressure going onto our back four the amount of times Brighton was pressurizing us. Yeah, we brought it back in the second half. We started to play our ball, and we scored decent goals. Mohamed Salah was dominant, etc., and we played well. But lapse of concentration again in the box meant that Lewis Dunk scored a goal which should not have happened. He should have been marked out the game. Why he had the space to score a tap in, I do not know. For me, it's the basics. It's the basic error of Klopp undervaluing the number six role, and it's the basic errors of the defense in crucial moments when you need to switch on, which is costing us this game. Not to say that we should have walked away with a win because Brighton did more than enough to get something from the game, but I think games like these are supposed to show your metal, are supposed to show the mentality, the winning mentality, a big team. When the chips are down, you throw everything at it to try to at least snatch a win at the end. And yeah, we had chances to do that. And yeah, Pascal Gross should have got red carded. But these are the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to be seeing my fans complaining about the referee decision again. We already know that the decision should have been a red card. We already know that certain things should have been in our favor. But big, big teams, big teams don't rely on those decisions. Big teams go out there and actually win the game. And we just didn't win the game because of the tactical mistakes that was made. Fair play to Brighton though. They showed up, they show out. And as we always say, they're always going to be a problem when it comes to the bigger teams. And they're doing it without the players that they lost in the summer. So fair play to them. But for me, I don't even take this draw as a yes, we got a point. Nah, I take this as a L because we should be winning these games. We managed to rectify the decision with a CDM. Yes, it's a temporary solution with the person that we bought, but we still rectified the problem by having someone. Now we should be utilizing that person to play that position, and every single game should be a win. Every single game should be a win. Because what this season is showing me is no team is up for it right now. No team is up for it. Tottenham struggled against Luton. Luton really gave them a good game and a hard time. Arsenal only won because Man City didn't play. They didn't have Rodri. They didn't play how they were supposed to play. Chelsea still going through their finding out phase. Manchester United are still Manchester United. So the league is there to be won. It just has to take that one team, that one manager to be like, you know what, fuck it. Let's go out there and let's terrorize this league, performance after performance. And Liverpool should be that team to do it because we got the players to do it. We've got the attackers to do it. We're just not doing it. And that's my issue in the game that I watched. And that's my issue going into the international break right now. That was not a point. That was a loss. But hey, we're still in the top four anyway. But it pisses me off knowing that if Liverpool had won that game, we probably would be looking at being second or even first. Now we're looking at being fourth or third right now. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Obviously, I'm happy we're in the top four, but I'm not happy with that result. And I'm not happy with the fact that we're not utilizing the six in where we should be. Especially with McAllister. I know he's saying I really left Brighton for me to play a six when I should be linking up with Slobberslide and Nunes and Gakpo in midfield. So yeah. What was your thoughts though, Margie?
Oh no, I completely agree. I don't know why you have Endo for. Like, man's doing up bench even though he's needed. I think that's what you needed in that game. You needed someone that just knew their role, just did the job. You don't really need that someone that great in the six role at the current moment because the players you have around him are all great. You know, your fullbacks are doing good, your centre backs are there. You got one of the best goalkeepers in the league, so you just need just a DM for now that's just good enough, just good, just give you a 6 or 7 out of 10. And McAllister's uncomfortable in that position. And then you look at Brighton with the likes of Balepa and Odringa and stuff like that, and these gems that they've unlocked for some reason. The man got some next unknown guys again, and yeah, they rip through your team at times. The gaps and spaces in that midfield were shocking. You did come back into the game with Salah, and Salah's been on some next form. He's not only scoring goals, he's creatively doing a lot better this season. I think this is the first season I've seen him create chances for himself and for others. So he looks really good. But the reality is, the game should have finished 3-1. There was a chance with Gravenberch, and let's be honest, at a big club, you can't miss those kind of chances.
It's true.
It was on a plate. You just gotta hit the target. If he hits the target 3-1, we're talking about Liverpool what being third, or only a point behind maybe Arsenal and Tottenham. So ahead of Man City. That's those two extra points can be the difference sometimes between winning something or not winning something. And the reality is, Brighton away is a tough fixture. So getting out of there with a win would have been a confidence boost for the rest of the season. But then, yeah, a lapse of concentration in a free kick area. And Lewis Dunk is big. How are you losing him and allowing him free in the middle of a box? He's the tallest guy there. Why isn't your biggest defender on him, bullying him? He shouldn't be having space to run into here. He's the biggest thing. Get whoever the biggest defender is, what Van Dijk, get him on him. The fact of the matter is, you know who their targets are when it comes to a free kick. It's Lewis Dunk, it's the other centre backs and stuff like that. The rest of their team is small as hell. They're not gonna get nothing. So you just got to get out of it, get in his way. And the fact that he was free, not even with his head, with his feet, that's just poor. That is poor by Liverpool, and that is something that needs to be worked on the training ground. But yeah, overall, like just too many gaps in midfield in the first half that surprised me. But at the same time, it's not shocking. I mean, we've seen it from the start of the season that Liverpool needed a six, and if they're not going to play a proper six, they're just going to lead themselves to have to do the thing that they did when they first had Jurgen Klopp. We're going to score more than you, and you can't do that against every team. So they need to play Endo or put Gravenberch in the six. They need to decide which one of those guys and allow McAllister and Sabozalai to be the creative forces to to be the guys that are up there, because then you have your front five set. Shabazlai with the finishing touch of being able to pass, shoot, your Steven Gerrard. Then you got McAllister, your in essence, not Jabi Alonso, but similar, the guy who can just be you need to dribble in, out, whatever, do his job in that sense. And then you just got your Mascherano. Endo could be your Mascherano. Mascherano wasn't the greatest of footballers, but he was giving you a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 every week in that DM role. He didn't need to do much. Just tackle, recycle the ball, give it to the guys that can make chances, that can give it to the winger, give it to the thing. That's what DM's meant to be. And reality is, that's all you need. Even if you can involve Gravenberch to be that, he has the height and the physical attributes to do it as well. So, yeah, you need a bit more of a physical force in that 6 role, because McAllister is an 8. We all know he's an 8. And it hasn't worked out. But the other guy that I haven't seen that's been in when you've had victories is Jones. I think Jones has been a miss as well. I think he's been very solid in your midfield, and I think he's been a little miss in the last couple games as well. Because I think your midfield looked a lot better with him in as well. So yeah, it's just teething pains for Liverpool. I think Klopp just needs to get out the stubborn phase and actually use a 6, and then defensively, these guys just need to switch on, because they have an opportunity to win a title this season if they want it. And these are your leaders, right? Your Robertson, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip. Switch on, especially the left back, right back. For me, Trent was great this game, but Robertson, he needs to pattern up, because he's starting to look a bit suspect in my opinion. And for me, he's one of the greatest left backs we've seen in the league in terms of probably top 5 up there, but he's not acting like it this season, and I think he needs to pattern up as well. I just need to see more from that defense, and a DM will help with that as well. But yeah, overall, good, decent draw away from home. Not much else you can really ask for. You want the win. You want to win every game you go into. But Brighton away is going to be hard for anybody. But yeah, on another day, Liverpool win this 3-1, and we're talking about, oh, what a great way to come back. But it wasn't to be.
Yeah, very true. Well, the next game is your team, Marju. So rap on about your team, man.
I'm not gonna overguess it. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm gonna be realistic. The first half was disgusting, in my opinion. We didn't play. The first half we did not play at all. We controlled the ball, but we were Chelsea last season. Side to side, side to side, rotate, side to side, 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 side to side. I was getting dizzy. The amount the ball was going side to side, and then just lapses of concentration in the defense. Not willing to meet a man. Thiago Silva not willing to put the tackle and put your leg in, and they simply just went through us nice quick, and they got their goal. And after that, it was just like that first half for me was just it just reminded me of Chelsea last season, in the sense that we weren't brave on the ball. We were just keeping the ball for keeping its sake. And the only guy that I would say tried to do something that first half was Sterling, and that led to the first goal. That's what you need to do sometimes. You need to get the ball and run at a man, and that's what he did. He got the ball, run at the man. He got his piece of luck, deflected, goal. 1-1 into halftime. It's a different game. That means they don't have to do the low block thing. They have to actually come out. Second half, I don't know what Poch said to the boys, but they lit up. They decided, okay, we're going to play today. We're going to play in the second half. And then chance after chance. Obviously, Sterling in it again. Gets the penalty. Cole Palmer with his first goal. Lovely to see the young man get his goal. Touching the badge, all that, passion and desire. Then the third chance was beautiful football. Lovely pass by Conor Gallagher into the channel. Lovely touch by Sterling. Beautiful finish. And then the fourth was the Pierre de Resistance, the cherry on top. Sterling just like again down the wing with pace, whips it into Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer into Nicholas Jackson off the bench, who was brilliant. Nice little turn finish, 4-1, easy as you like. But we can't afford to have a first half like that against the bigger teams. We need to be playing like the second half for the full 90. We need a full 90 of where we're dominating the ball and playing quickly. We need to play a lot quicker, and I feel we lost a bit of balance with the right back situation. Obviously, it's unfortunate that we've lost a couple right backs. Hopefully, when Gusto's back playing that position, we have more creativity down that side. I still don't like Colwell in left back position. I just think it doesn't work, in my opinion. I think we need a natural left back there, and the midfield balance is perfect right now. Casado and Enzo are doing well. Casado's actually last two games has been one of our better players, and then yeah, Conor Gallagher just being the Harrier. You got the DM in Casado. You got the controller in Enzo. You got Conor Gallagher just being the dog he is, and for once, Sterling stepped up. He stepped up in a game. He decided, oh, I want to be the big man on campus. He lived up to the quote. He said, "I'm scoring the most goals this season," and he decided to play. And yeah, that impetus from him allowed the rest of the team to come on, in, especially in the second half. And I think there's a lot to say about Sterling. A lot of disrespect on his name in times, but yeah, he showed up, and he needs to continue showing up. I think he's going to be a big key in any result we can get at home to Arsenal and in games in the future, because he's the most experienced man out there in terms of the attack. He's the grandpa leading the young kids into the Lions Den that we have over the next couple result of fixtures. Every big team we're facing them. So we need our experienced players to show up and show out. And I just need more of this from Sterling. I just need him to be the lion he is and run at man. That's all I want for my attackers, just to run at man. I need them to just show that kind of initiative to just say, "Oh cool, I got the ball. Boom, I'm gone." And it was good to see. And yeah, I'm happy it's international break. We'll get some players back over the course of the week. And it's gonna be interesting to see. We're gonna go into the fire in the upcoming fixtures. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm happy that we won 3 games in a row. First time in years that we've won back to back away games. So bonus points for that. In terms of Burnley, I think I like what company's doing, but you ain't Swansea, baby. You can't do that in this league. You can't be doing the attacking football with the players you got, and you're too open. Like when you won 1-0 up, you were still playing this open, expansive football, and I was thinking to myself, like, it looks good, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And I feel like you're better than 2, 3 of these other teams, and you could stay up if you were just a bit more pragmatic in your approach in certain games. Against certain teams, you have to be pragmatic, but against the teams around you, you can play that style of football because you'll be better than them. But against these bigger teams that are experienced in the Premier League, can't afford to do that, and you're going to lose more than you win. So company needs to watch out because he may lose his job just because of his willingness to continue to play that style. But yeah, good win. Not much else I can say, man. I'm just happy that we're winning games. I think Poch has turned it around in a little sense, but there's still teething pains with our team. We're still not the finished article yet, and we still got a lot of men to come back. So, like 12 injuries at the moment or something. It's reducing every week. So hopefully we can get a decent couple guys back in. Um, I hope none of my guys get injured in the international scene. I hope they don't play a minute. In fact, I want them all on the bench, just sitting there chilling. You know, every all of my players on the bench. I don't want them starting games. Obviously, some man have to, like Enzo and Casado, but the European ones just chill on the bench, play cards and that. Enjoy the training camp. Meet your French boys, your English boys, your European dons. You know what I'm saying, and then come back fit because yeah, man, after this international break, it's time for the men to show up, and it's time for these boys to turn into men and show what they're about. And if we can play a good style of football, we can shock a couple teams over the next couple weeks. And that's all I want us to do. Shock, get some good results, and get the confidence that we need over the course of the rest of the season. And yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like for me, I think Chelsea didn't perform in the first half, and it just allowed Burnley to really play their game. I admire Vincent Company. I do. I think to have the balls to go to every single game and expect Burnley to pass teams off the park. I admire that bravery. I really do, regardless of whether they have the players capable of doing it. And it just makes me feel that even if Burnley were to let go of him, whatever team that he gets in the Premier League, he's still gonna play that style of play. And I just think for me, he just needs to be in a team that has the players capable of doing it. And I think for me, if say for example Brighton were to lose De Zerbi to like a big club, I think Brighton should look at Vincent Company. I think there's not really much difference there in the sense of the football being played, and it just might mean that when Vincent Company were to take over that club, then it just might mean small little tweaks, but they'll still play the attractive football that we all know and love. So I just think Burnley's probably not the right team to play that style with in the Premier League. In the Championship, it works, but I think in the Premier League, it doesn't. But not to say that it won't work with a different team. And I think he should just carry on playing that style of play. I really do. If it's working in a sense of the freedom of the players, then why not go out? Why not? Don't 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 give in to the stigma that just because you're a promoted team that you have to be defensive all the time. Like play your style, embrace the Premier League. If it works for you, it doesn't. If it does, then you're a hero. And I personally think that he should carry on playing his style. Yes, he was 1-0 up, and naturally you would expect that team to just sit back and just play on a counter attack. But he didn't want to do that. He thought what's brought us to the dance and what brought us to allow us to score that goal was free flowing football. So let me carry on. Fair dues. You got the balls to do it. Go out and do it. Obviously, Chelsea were in that stage in the first half where I don't know, maybe lacking in confidence. I don't know what it was. But yeah, second half really did. It was a different start, different Chelsea. You know, Sterling was the man of the match for sure. And the art of defending isn't the same anymore. It isn't. And the likes of Luis Diaz, Raheem Sterling, Doku, that's just to name a few. You know, these guys are ballers. When it comes to 1v1s, they'll take you on, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to skin you. And I think wingers need to understand that the art of the defense in terms of fullbacks, there's not a lot of great fullbacks anymore. If you can beat your man 1v1, you can beat your man. And I think wingers need to start doing this now. Stop doing this Jack Grealish pass to the midfielder, then try run into space or just keep on passing the ball. Like, have the confidence to look up, look at where your fullback is, and try beat him because you have the skill to do it. And Sterling did that all day long. He terrorized their right back all day long, terrorized him, and sometimes it was simple just running past him, but it was effective. He had the pace to do it. I was impressed with Sterling that game. I really was. I was happy for Jackson as well. I'm glad he had Jackson showed with that finish that he actually has the confidence, because to have the ability to do that Cruyff turn the way that he did and slot it in, drop the shoulder, slot it in, he has the ability. He just needs to improve on his confidence and he will get the goal. And I've said you need to believe in this guy because he's got something there and he proved it in that goal. Not many people will have the confidence to do that skill, but he did it. So yeah, fair plays to him. There's no coincidence at all that, as I said, the minute you guys went to a four at the back, and started to play the 4-2-3-1, you're starting to see the real essence of Chelsea and what Pochettino wants to do with this team. You're seeing that ability right now. And it's good to see, man. It really is. Like, as I said before and a couple weeks ago, I've dipped Chelsea to make that top four, and I'm not changing my mind. I'm still keeping that prediction. I've seen more than enough before the wins and currently with the wins to let me know that they're gonna make it. Um, Again, yeah, as Margie rightfully said, there are teething problems there. I do feel like if Cucurella's playing right back, then you need to put Cucurella there at left back. You need to put Levi Colwell in partnership with Diassi, and when Gusto comes back, play right back, because as I said before and I'll say it again, Thiago Silva is not the guy no more. His legs are gone. Yes, his experience is vital, but I feel like his experience coming off the bench and just being on the bench is probably a lot more effective than him being on the pitch right now. I do believe he is a hindrance. And you notice that every single goal that Chelsea has conceded has been the fault of Thiago Silva. It's not been a fault of anyone else. It's been him. So I just feel like he needs to come out, rely on the young guns of Colwell and Diassi, and I feel like, yeah, you might get, you might concede a couple goals due to inexperience and due to youth, but at least they will learn and grow from it. But at least they've got the pace and power to deal with the Premier League attackers. Right now, you've only got Diassi there. Diassi, it just feels like he's babysitting Thiago right now.
Yeah.
He's having to deal with Thiago at the back, but he's also having to try help out at right back, help out at left back because Colwell's not comfortable there. My man's doing everything. So I just feel like, yeah, if maybe Poch is doing it because he's waiting for injuries to return, then fair enough. But I feel like eventually, if he is going to take this seriously, especially with Arsenal next, he needs to play a better defense, because man, them like Eddie and Ketia, your defense is in trouble and Ketia's in the room. My man's gonna spin Thiago Silva and them man there. So yeah, man. But all in all, I'm happy with what I saw with Chelsea. And yeah, if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be happy. You guys are definitely on the way up. And it's about damn time as well. Speaking of on the way up, we're gonna close on a team that's uh, apparently turned the corner, in the words of Eric Ten Hag. But I don't know if he's turned the corner. I think it's a case of um, biding their time, to be honest. Because I said before, I hope that they manage to collect as much points as possible till when Liverpool face Man United, and then we can give them the spanking that they deserve, and then we can say goodbye to Eric Ten Hag. That's what I want. But it was Captain McMayo, Captain McChicken McNugget, that scored and saved Eric Ten Hag's job, because I believe that if Man United had lost that game, I guarantee that his position would have been under threat the next day, because he can't be losing like this again at home in the next week. And it was looking like that. United were terrible. They were poor. Again, we say the same thing about United every single week, but it's good to see that they didn't give up. And it does go to show you that they actually are listening to Eric Ten Hag. I believe they actually are listening to him. I think they are buying into his ideas. I just think it's just a case of laziness and complacency. And the wrong person is captain at their club. I'll say this and I'll say it again. The only person that is fit for that captaincy right now is Marcus Rashford. I don't know why Bruno is captain. It still doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. For me, that midfield of Casemiro and Amrabat is not working. You got two midfielders that do not have mobility, who do not have legs in them. For me, I would be playing Scott McTominay and Amrabat, or I'd be playing that. I don't even know that Hannibal guy and Amrabat. Just someone that's got legs and that can move, that's mobile. I'll be playing them with Amrabat. This persistence with playing Casemiro in that position doesn't make sense. It was his fault why Brentford scored the goal in the first place. He kept on losing the ball. And for me, it just goes to him, uh, and Thiago Silva. These guys don't have the legs. They're at that Fabinho arc stage of Fabinho last season. He had no legs because he was babysitting James Milner and Jordan Henderson for his whole career. That my man was age 30 to 33 in legs when his actual age is 29. Is that Casemiro? Casemiro was in Madrid balling out, helping out aging Cruz and Modric, but they still had the ability to control the midfield. He's now gone to Manchester United in a physical league. In his debut season, he did well, but he had to carry that midfield. And now in his second season, his legs are gone. He doesn't even know what to do because he lost his legs in the first year. For me, Casemiro shouldn't be playing. Amrabat should be the lead CDM. Someone else mobile should be next to him. And Bruno Fernandes should be in a cam. Or hell, put Mason Mount next to Amrabat, put Fernandes in the cam, and then see what happens. But I just think for me, we've always said that midfield is a key integral position when it comes to winning games, whether it's to assist with the attack or whether it's to protect the back four. The midfield is vital. And if your midfield's non existent, you're not going to win the game. And that is United's problem. Yeah, we can always talk about the defense and the goalkeeper. We can always talk about that. I've always said Onana's dead and he was never an upgrade to David De Gea. I said this. I've always said this. And I got laughed at for saying that. But look at this now. He's a joke. The defense speaks for itself. We don't even need to talk about that. But the midfield, they can actually get the midfield right temporarily. But he's not doing that. And this is why they're struggling in games. This is why their performances have been inconsistent. And the only live wire, the only positivity that's coming out of these Manchester United matches is Hoyland and Rashford and their continued relationship and link up play in every single game. You can see that they're building something together. They just need better players around them to support them. The only way that can happen is with a DOF at Manchester United giving Eric Ten Hag the ideas, the actual specific players that's needed to help this team. Whether that's going to happen, I do not know. But United were lucky. They were 100% lucky to come away with that win. Fair play, they got the win. Whether they've turned the corner, I don't believe so. I do feel like that win just papered over the cracks. And going into the international break, ideally, you would like to think that they would work on those cracks, but whatever the next game is going to be, it most likely won't. But yeah, fair play. They got their points. The meme of Manchester United is on a hush this week, but no doubt it's going to creep up in their next game. But yeah, Margie, we're going to close on this game. So what was your thoughts on the game?
First of all, going into the game, they had a big loss against Galatasaray in the Champions League, so it was in essence it was a must win because if you lose at home to Galatasaray, a random Turkish team, man, all the kebab shops around the world laughing at you. You have to win this game. But I was looking at the game and I was thinking, were they gonna were they gonna concede? Was the keeper gonna save? And the keeper said, "Oh, Nana," because that's what happened. Because every time Man United need a save, all he says is, "Oh, Nana." I haven't seen him save anything once. That goal was light. A better keeper would have saved that, to be honest. And the reality is, Onana is being bogged down by playing with average players because man is a ball in the feet type goalkeeper. He's lost all his confidence because he can't save a thing, and you can see it. Like he's just not the same. Um, yeah, and they conceded the early goal, and then from then on, you didn't really think United were gonna score. As I said, the midfield was unbalanced. Like the defense was unbalanced. Lindelof left back, man like Maguire and Evans as your centre back pairing. I mean, I thought I was watching 2015 or something. I thought I went back in time. Sorry, that defensive partnership. Yeah, just no legs, no talent all across the pitch, and you're right in terms of the captaincy. But in terms of captaincy, Bruno shouldn't be captain. But to be honest, I don't see no leaders on that pitch. I don't even think Rashford's a leader, in my opinion. I don't see a leader on that pitch. Reality is, like Casemiro's meant to be a leader, but he's acting, you know, they call it expected decline, because that's what these these Brazilians seem to be doing right now. These old Neymar, Casemiro, Fabinho, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva had his excuse. He's 39. He's
It's
about to hit
true.
40. So he's has excuse of age, but these men are just slowly dying. But yeah, when you expect so much of a man, and especially you have to put legs around Casemiro for him to work, and there's no legs around him, so he's not going to work. And yeah, I think what United did wrong was they had a couple weeks ago they beat Crystal Palace in the League Cup. I think they should have stuck with that same team, because if they stuck with that same team over the next couple of fixtures, I think they would have won the last the last two games, because I feel like certain of these bigger players just need to be dropped, in my opinion. And the reality is, like, when a player is not playing to the level that they should be, Rashford isn't, Bruno isn't, um, Hoyland is new, so I give him a blind, but Casemiro isn't. You didn't need to drop these guys. Sometimes you need to just use your squad players, use your youngsters, your Garnachos, your Palestris, your Hannibals, because they have the passion and desire to want to play on that pitch, and that's what you need sometimes. That's all you need, really. More like the minimal thing you need is effort. Talent and all that, can go by the wayside if you're not playing on the pitch. And I don't believe they're playing for him. I don't. I feel like there's some problems in the background. The fact that Jadon Sancho hasn't been back around, the Anthony situation, as a human, I would be weirded out by that, because you look at Greenwood, what happened to Greenwood and Anthony, similar situations, but you're acting different. Yeah. So for me, I don't know. I can't really trust the club or the manager at the moment in terms of what's going to happen in the future. And they were very lucky. I mean, the first goal was, bounce around the box. Their first goal was bounce around the box, and McTominay, nice, cool finish. But the second one, I mean, that keeper was rubbish. How you not saving that header? It was a basic ass header. It was Maguire to McTominay to crappy goalkeeper who couldn't save. I thought Onana was on both nets. I'm gonna lie, I thought Onana was on both nets when I saw that. So yeah, very lucky and very cruel for Brentford. They deserved something from the game, but is this good for United? I don't think so. I think it's just papering over cracks over problems that they've had throughout the season. They're gonna probably be knocked out of the Champions League, most likely. Probably Europe. I don't even think they're gonna get Europa League. I think they might finish bottom of their group if they continue to play this kind of crappy football. And I don't know what they can do at the moment, because we know there's bigger issues ahead. They have no DLF. Ten Hag doesn't have he has support of some of the players, I would say, but I feel like there's a divided dressing room. I feel like there's players that don't want to play for him and players that do, and you could see that on the pitch. Certain men are playing, certain men aren't. Certain men are doing stuff, certain men aren't, and there's always gonna be a divide when your boy, if your boy is Jadon Sancho, and if you were friends with him before, and you're seeing how he's treated, how Anthony's being treated, how certain men are being treated, you're like, how can I trust a guy who's one way for this guy, one way for that, showing that he has favorites, showing that he has certain players that that will continue to play regardless of how bad they're playing. It reminds me of the Danny Rose meme with Jose Mourinho. These men have been playing crap, but you can't even put me on. 'Cause, I'll talk to Levy about it. That's what Sancho's saying. I'll talk
Go
to
on
the
then, go on
Glazers.
then.
I'll talk to the Glazers about it. But yeah, it's just a very toxic environment overall, I think, as a club, and maybe you need to move on certain man. Um, but yeah, I don't think Bruno Fernandes is a leader. I don't think they have any at the moment in that club. Even if you gave it to Rashford, even though he's the local lad. I don't think he has the minerals to be the captain either. He's more about his social media posts than actually playing on the pitch. You know, he's that type of guy. So for me, I think they just need a whole reset in their team and to see what will happen next. Because reality is this: it's a good result. You got 3 points on the board, but you're 10th, and I don't see you. I don't see you getting top four, top five. Even your legends, Gary Neville, saying it. So the reality is, even if your legends aren't capping for your club, and they want to be in the Glazers breakfast list, and they're not saying your team's doing well. So yeah, just I feel like it's a situation that needs to be sorted overall as a club. I think it just needs to be. I think Glazers need to sell to a new ownership, and the club needs to be gutted out and revitalized because everything is just poor around there. And yeah, the goalkeeper can't save. The defenders are from 2014-15 season. The midfield is slow, and the attack is not doing much. And I like the Hoyland kid. I think he's a talent. I think he's a great talent. I think he's probably the best thing about this season so far, in my opinion. But when you
Mm.
have wingers that aren't doing anything, midfield that is just running around in circles like they lost their head in Bruno and Mason Mount, running around in circles, go woo woo around the pitch.
Moving like
How
Coquelin.
yeah, how are you expecting a man like him to get chances? Because I think he's a gunman in the waiting, and I just think you need someone to unlock him.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll see. I would say this: they're very unfortunate with injuries because obviously no Varane, no, um, what's his name,
No
Martinez and
Luke
stuff like that.
Shaw, no,
No
no,
Shaw, Regalon as well.
Malacia,
Regalon.
Regalon.
So in terms
Yeah,
of injuries, there's a lot of problems there, but we'll see how they play when they get those players back. But yeah, more bad than good, really, but decent result.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, that's it, man. We come to the end. Obviously, international break is now here. Boring football. Normally, we would discuss uh the deconstruction, but we already did that already. So next week we could do a special, a special in terms of predictions again, or we could talk about maybe a different league, maybe a European league, maybe. Obviously, there's rumors about Jose Mourinho losing his job at Roma because they're not doing what they have done in the last couple years that he's been there. They're regressing. So yeah, maybe we could talk about the European leagues, maybe. But yeah, I haven't nothing really to say, to be honest. I don't really have an outro. So yeah, this is Luke signing out.
Yeah, man, another good episode. Shout out to Oliver Giroud, showing how Onana, how it's done, how to be a goalkeeper in the last minutes.
It's true.
Uh, the jokes on that were flying, man. Right? Saying, "Oh, the keepers have came to the training camp and stuff like that." But yeah, no. To be honest, that's a great performance to get your team to top of the table in Serie A. Putting on that green jersey. Yeah, man. He's made more saves than Onana this season.
It's so true.
But yeah, no, another great week. Yeah, and then international football's boring as hell, but we'll be back and for my club it's the fire is coming. The big teams are around the corner. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, or no, not Liverpool, Arsenal, City. I think Tottenham's there, Newcastle's there, Brighton's there. I think those are the next 5, 6 fixtures. So yeah, Premier League don't stop. It's either gonna slap you in the face or give you a kiss goodbye. That's all it's gonna do. Gonna give you one big hit in one punch. But yeah, it'll be interesting. But remember, this is foosball. This is hold that. And yeah, everyone who lost on the weekend, hold that. And everyone who didn't win, hold that. Yeah, hold that, Luke. The bums. 3-point collectors here right now. Yeah.